Greetings from the eccentric man, playing Andrew this evening with his Afrika Corps. So that's going to be good fun, because I've got my sort of 8th army. I've got the East African Commonwealth army, so that'd be good. So there's Andy. You've seen him before. He's a good player with us. What we're trying to do tonight is follow the West Coast GT pack for the Las Vegas Open. So it's a 14 dice cap, so I've got 13, Andy's got 13, and you've got one reinforced platoon. You can take it from a selector, but you can only use the reinforced platoon generic structure. So that's your lieutenant, 2 infantry sections, and then working your way down the list, 1 sniper, 1 one artillery piece, 1 whatever, that sort of remit. So we're doing that this evening, and we're going to give that a go, because it's a really interesting idea, and there's been a lot of bits on the Facebook. I know my last video did spark a few comments and got Warlord to contact me. So yeah, we'll see how it runs and see what we think about it. And looking at the armies, it's not been too bad, is it? I mean, I've not had to change mine from the Warlord GT because it fits that criteria anyway. Andy was going to be really cheesy and put in 2. What were they? I don't know.
I was going to do the late.
Oh, he's going to do the
the early light division, which allowed 2.
Oh right,
two
yeah.
tank type vehicles.
Yeah, early light division that allows 2 tank type vehicles. You still might be able to do it. We'll confer. So my list is much the same as I took to the Warlord GT, and it's got the 2nd Lieutenant, the anti-tank rifle, sniper team, 5-man commando unit veteran, 8-man Gurkha unit veteran, and the 2 regular infantry Sikhs, a forward artillery observer, a regular 25-pounder, a veteran universal carrier for the commandos, a truck for my Gurkhas, and that's a veteran again, a regular Matilda, and a regular Lanchester armoured car. So that's the same army I took to the GT, and that I've been playing for a few weeks now. So let's have a look at Andy's army. He's taken his army from the Western Desert book, and as he said, it's going to be the late DAC army. So it's got the Schutzen squads with the 3 LMGs. So there is a list of Andy's troops that's going to come up in the next one of the next frames. What he was wanting to do was the light Afrika division from 41, and what he was looking to do was have a truck which had a quad. I think it was a quad autocannons. But he wanted the tank as well, so in the Las Vegas Open pack you can't take the 2 tank slots, even though it says it in the theatre selector. You have to go for the generic. So this is his list, and hopefully you might be able to read it, and it gives you some idea of what he's taking in his 1,000 points. So yeah, as I said, from the Western Desert book, which gives him the free LMG. So you pay for 1, and you get the 2nd free. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do demolition, because I believe that's one of the missions out of the pack for Las Vegas Open. So we've had a little tinker with the terrain and moved the road that was going to cut across the centre from long table to long table. So we've taken that out, and we're going to do demolition on the table as is. So we're going to go into setting up, and we'll show the initial dispositions when we come back. So set up for first turn, and he's set his people up over there. You can see his little objective there with his 222, his little tank. And then over here some more infantry. There's medium mortar and his 3G, and we're not talking internet. So I've got over here 1 infantry unit, the Matilda, 25-pounder, sniper in the middle, running round to the anti-tank rifle, another Sikh squad, the universal carrier with the commandos, my 3 artillery observer, 2nd lieutenant down there, and the 25-pounder spotter over there. So running into turn 1. A stonking turn that one was. I had some really jammy dice rolling. I managed to take out Andy's mortar with my sniper, and then I took out his medium anti-tank gun with a little cheeky 6 from my 25-pounder and killed them. Over here I've moved up a little bit, trying to take out the 222 that's moved up, and did a little bit of peppering at my carrier, but it missed, fortunately. Debussed the commandos over onto this left flank, and he's has moved these up. Keep getting odd messages coming up on my iPad. I'm going to have to sort the iTunes bit out. So here's a little flank attack coming over there. And then the tables turned when his Panzer III G, medium, anti-tank, took a shot, long range, through cover, at my Matilda, and blew it up. 5 followed by a 6 followed by a 6, and bye Matilda. No waltzing for that one. Ha ha ha. Took a pin from the shooting for the Indians and lost a man there. And mixed fortunes in turn 1. So into turn 2. I have to share this. This is an in turn 1. Andy rolled double 1 insane courage to remove 4 leadership. 4 pins off these Schutzen squad. He advanced them up to the wall and took a shot at my Sikh squad, needing 5s and 6s to hit. 5s with the LMGs, because it's got 2 LMGs in it, and 2 rifles, and he's killed 6, which was rather exceptional shooting, and decimated my Indians. So I've got a leadership test at -1 with 1 man left. That was a bit of a wipeout, wasn't it, that one?
It was a bit luck.
So after that cracking roll of the Germans to kill more or less the whole squad, the guy did pass his leadership test, and he's standing there. I pivoted around my 25-pounder to take a shot at the guys behind the wall, but sadly I missed. So yeah, not looking good over there. And obviously we've got units on outflank, so it'd be interesting to see where Andy's come in. Possibly over here on the right, or possibly over there on the left. It's going to be one of the two. So yeah, I moved my free artillery observer. He has jumped in the empty universal carrier, so at least I can fire its 2 LMGs this turn. Pushed up my anti-tank rifle to take a pop at the 222, and he ran away, which was quite good. So that put him on the back foot. I stayed stationary with the universal carrier because he had his little anti-tank rifle on at ambush, and I just shot anyway. And I can't remember what he did with his anti-tank rifle. I think he took a shot but missed. And then they went down because I fired the LMG at them, and I put a pin on them, I think. And then I've advanced up my commandos on this flank to give a bit of a threat over there. But we're going to go into turn 3, and it'll be chance for outflanking possiblies. So I haven't told Andy that my outflanking unit is coming on from the right flank, and he's got his Panzer III there. So that is going to be a bit of a pain for me. So we'll have to see what we do. But he has got quite a lot of troops amassing over here, and I have not got very much protecting my objective over here for demolition. I'm moving back the Sikhs to try and give it a little bit of bolstering, and sadly my plan with the Matilda to bolster didn't work, but at least it's formed a roadblock to stop trucks, which is one bonus. However, it could be that side. So we'll see what comes up in turn 3. So into turn 3, and the Germans are pressing forward towards the base of the British. So the 2 big squads there, I've not got very much holding on. I tried to fire the artillery piece, but it missed them, and he moved up his tank and did sort of get in the way of his infantry did get in the way of him shooting, which was a bit of a bonus. But it did leave my outflanking force some space to come on, which I did. there is a lot of Germans here as well. So, and my dead truck, of course, and my troops that have got a pin on them. So, yeah, I ran them up here, and it's a 50-50 chance, isn't it, which side Andy's going to have his outflanking troops on, and it was on this side. So the truck came up, the pioneers jumped out, and they flamethrowered the truck. We had a bit of discussion on this one, because the unit flamethrower the truck blew it up, so it didn't actually take a leadership test because of the flames. But it blew up the truck, so the infantry jumped out D6, and they got a 6 to go that far. So then they take D6 hits, and Andy killed 2 of them. But they didn't actually take the leadership test for the flamethrower, because the vehicle blew up, so it didn't put any pins, if that's our way of reading it. Because they didn't take a leadership test because they weren't the units that was actually hit. So I'm quite happy to have anyone at the who knows a bit more knowledgeable than us. Please let us know in the comments below. So that was that bit. I did make Andy's armoured car reverse again by moving up my anti-tank rifle, and the Bren carrier I took a little bit of a risk, probably too much of a risk, because this guy was an ambush with the anti-tank rifle. So he did take a shot and put 2 pins on it, which is a bit harsh because he stunned the crew and they took 2 pins. He fired his Schützen squad at my commandos. I put them down and they took 1 pin and a man dead. I'm trying to bolster up my objective by moving the Sikhs across, and the little man on his own failed his test and went down, and the snipers failed to hit the machine gun. So moving into turn 4, it's on a knife edge. So let's see whose dice is going to come up first. All good plans of mice and men. So I charged the Gurkhas up to the machine gun. They managed to put a pin on me and take 1 casualty. I advanced and took combat, so obviously it halves the number of people rounding up for the machine gun team. We're both veterans. I rolled 2 4s, a 3 and a 2, and I missed, and Andy rolled a 6 and a 3. So, bye-bye, Gurkhas. It's always risky in hand-to-hand. Nothing is guaranteed. And that is bolt action. Well, end of turn 4, and I've managed to destroy the German supply dump and capture the guy with my forward artillery observer. After the debacle of the Gurkhas dying to the machine gunner, I did kill the machine gunner with a sniper. Over in the far side, my armoured car was done for by the pioneers. The tank moved up but couldn't get a clear shot because the armoured car was in the way, so that was really fortunate. It was a real risk with my artillery officer. He's only regulus and he had 3 pins, and I rolled a 5 to get him to activate, and he was able to run and get into contact with the objective. Over here, I advanced up the commandos to put a pin on the German unit here. I'd also targeted them with the armoured car and put another pin on them, and then I fired the anti-tank rifle team and put a pin on them, which took them to 3 pins. And sadly for Andy, he failed his leadership test and they went down, and they were the only people who could actually kill the forward artillery observer, which was really fortunate for me, because in the next turn we have these 2 Schützen squads coming over the fence, and there is not a lot between them and my base. But yeah, that was down to the wire, that one, wasn't it?
Cracking game.
That was really good.
Yeah.
And that swung. I thought I had a good, reasonable chance, and then I thought, God, no, it's gone. And then it was like, possibly, and then a little bit of luck to pass that last leadership test to get the guy in contact. So yeah, excellent game. Using the rules from the West Coast demo team and their Las Vegas Open rules worked fine for us here. Yeah, so using the pack, As I say, it didn't really affect me very much. Did a little bit with Andy, stopping him taking the second tank slot, so it saved me having to face a truck with a full quad autocannon. So that was good. The pack really, it's designed to iron out some of the issues that we faced and we talked about in the last video and the video before with regards to cheese and overpowering of lists, and particular ones like the Stalingrad. That just always crops up. So it's bringing it back to the rule book and the army lists that are in there, the generic platoon. And even within that generic platoon, you can choose your selectors, your theatre selectors, and you can pick out the troops from it, and it gives it the flavour. What it does take out is the multiple use, the multiple troops. So you can't take your 3 forward deploying 4-man Japanese sections or Russian sections or whoever they are, and you can't take your 4 heavy howitzers or your 2 Katushkas and your 2 heavy howitzers. So it is stopping to a degree a large amount of that. But there we are. We had a real good fun game. It was as I said, it was a cracking game, and it was really down to the wire. And that last couple of throws in turn 4, and that usually happens in demolition. It is usually over fairly quick. It's one of the scenarios that some people change, and you give the opportunity to the opponent, well, both have the opportunity to fight out to the end of the game to see if people can destroy the base by the end of the game, rather than a sudden death finish. But that's normally the case in tournaments, that they don't change that, and it's the demolition, and it's the straightforward finish at the end of that turn that you're in base contact with it. So yeah, a good game, good fun night. Hope you enjoyed the battle report. Not sure what's coming up next. We'll have to see how we go, see what games we can get in before Christmas, and see what we can put up. Not sure if I've got any more unboxings, and it depends what I buy, of course. But we'll see. So, thanks very much for watching. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe if you haven't already. We're getting nearer to that 900 subscribers, and only 100 away from the 1,000. And I've got a very nice giveaway planned for the 1,000 subscribers. So, please keep watching and subscribe if you haven't already. So until next one, take care and see you soon.